It feels like at first we're losing our power. However, it's the opposite. Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Thank you for joining me. I'm Val Mason. What we're going to talk about today is something that I think a lot of people become concerned with and have questions around in terms of spiritually awakening and realizing that you're being called to and drawn more towards living with higher purpose and deeper meaning in alignment with your soul's path. And that is losing your power, losing your free will, losing your creative expression. Because as we realize when we do spiritually awaken and we are called and drawn more to align with our soul's mission, is that the universe will continue to bend us until we conform to that higher wisdom plan of our soul's path. And that's not an easy process, and it's not a simple process. It's a process that often feels like you're being bullied, or you're being targeted, or you're being picked on, and you're being cornered. But essentially, that's how the ego learns how to surrender. That is how we shed those egoic belief systems and paradigms that we operate off of, so that incrementally over time, more and more, we can align with the higher paradigm, the higher consciousness paradigm of unity and life supporting life and being in service of love for the highest good of all. So during that process, and especially in the beginning phases mostly, it feels as if we're losing our power. Like there's a muzzle being put over our mouth. And our wrists and ankles are being tied, and we're being chained, and we're losing our power. But that's just the ego dying, really. That's the death and the rebirth process of the ego. Because what's happening is we're aligning our mind with our heart. We're coming into heart-brain coherence through that process, where the mind conforms to the heart and allows the heart to lead. That's why in twin flame dynamics, the divine feminine is always the spiritual leader of the two, because the heart leads the mind. Now, both have to come into heart-brain coherence and inner union in order to come together. But the divine feminine is the leading aspect of every twin flame dynamic. Whether the divine feminine is a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. It's just one spiritual body is the divine feminine, and one spiritual body is predominantly the divine masculine. But that's why, this is what the spiritual awakening process is giving us. This is enlightenment. This is coming into heart and brain coherence to be able to live more in alignment with our soul's mission. And so, as I was saying, it feels like at first we're losing our power as we're being challenged in that way. However, it's the opposite. Because we're coming into alignment and coherence, we then become able to more fully express ourselves in who we truly are, more so than before. Before, if you had an issue with creative expression, maybe you had a pattern and a habit of expressing yourself with violence or anger or blame, these sort of negative subconscious patterns that continue to occur. At the root of all pain and anger is, grief. At the root of anger and rage is hurt and pain and grief. And without being able to properly express that, it stays manifesting as anger and pain because we feel unsafe. Is it unsafe? We ask ourselves, I feel unsafe to express my true pain and grief and show that vulnerability because then I might be taken advantage of or I might be weak. But it's the opposite. A true leader expresses and shows their pain and vulnerability to help guide others to do the same. This is how we heal. This is how we break open and bleed out that wound so that we can heal. And so when we do come into heart-brain coherence and in greater alignment, we're trusting ourselves, we've worked on ourselves, we have grounded and centered into our root chakra and come into alignment and balance in our chakras, in inner union, no matter what stage of that, enough to know that it's safe and healthy and good to express your truth and your true emotions. When that happens, that's exactly what we're able to do. We express more of our grief and our fears, the depths of our pain. We find a way to unleash it and let it out and cry and be vulnerable. So we no longer express, it no longer manifests as anger and blame and competition and judgment. So that is necessary, expressing, being able to cry, being able to express your shadow in a healthy way that empowers you and allows you to continue growing, developing, and evolving is what allows you to be able to express the best of you as well, the light in you and the love. So that is really, it's a pretty quick video that we have here today. But if that has been a concern for you, and chances are if this video has found you, that has crossed your mind at least a couple of times, that concern. So instead of becoming powerless, you have more power than ever. When you are able to humble yourself, surrender your pain, love yourself and others unconditionally. Unconditionally. That is true power. That breeds and gives birth to wisdom and blessing that you now can share with others in the world. So, I hope this video has found you well. If this video has been helpful, please drop a like. Also leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm Val Mason. See you in the next video. Thank you.